So the rest is all to do with the concession stand issue. We'll let the first 5 speak if you want to call them in that order. If you have a preference, I'm asking you now to make us aware of that. Tracy, you want to start calling them?
Randy Hollinsey.
Commissioners, please, I'd like to open this discussion with a conversation that I had with Mr. Moore the Friday before Springfest. As you can see, I brought several folks from Deltona Youth Soccer to come speak because it is a problem for us. On that Friday, I went to the concession stand with Keith to open up, get prepared for the Springfest the next day. When I got there, there was a large trailer parked in front of our concession stand from the Kiwanis Club. Just to give you a little history, earlier in the year, the Springfest people sent me an application, said we need you to fill this out. I went to the city. I said, hey, do I need to fill this out? Do I need to work through you guys? They said, you need to work through us. Okay? It's a little odd for me to work from a third party when I've always worked through the city. Springfest wanted us to open, and the only thing they said was, we don't want you to sell ice cream because we're trying to make sure we have vendors for all the different foods and no duplicates. Great. So I worked through the city. Called them several times, emailed them several times between January and February until near the event. And every time I spoke to them, all I got was, well, we're having a meeting next week or in the next few days to discuss it. I even volunteered to come up to one of these meetings to talk about it. They said, no, we don't need you. Thank you, but we don't need you. So when I get there to the festival, I'm expecting to be open. The only thing I'm considering is maybe we're not selling ice cream, maybe we are. I don't know. But the trailer's in the way. So I asked the people that are setting it up, what's going on, They said, you need to talk to Mr. Moore. So I called Steve, and I asked him, why is there a trailer parked in front of our concession stand? And he said, well, because DYSC is not going to be open for this event. And I asked why, and the answer I got was because I said so. I continued to press for a reasonable answer and never got anything other than we don't have to let you be open. He also added the concession stand is not going to be open to any other event in the near future, like the Walkathon, the Memorial Day event, or July 4th. I explained to him that I was contacted by the Springfest people. They wanted me to be open. Why is the city telling me not to open when the Springfest people wanted me to be open? No answer. I then asked Steve, what Memorial Day event are we talking about? He said it's a city event and wouldn't give me an answer. I continued to press him on it, and he said that the Seminole Soccer Club out of Sanford had rented the fields for a soccer tournament on Memorial Day weekend. And he also added that we would not be needed for that event. And just as a side note, I've known about this Memorial Day event, but I didn't know what it was, and I've asked his department over and over and over what it is. At least 5 or 6 emails, never got a response. So I asked Steve, I said, look, the equipment for the soccer field, we own all the nets and the flags, let us partner. We'd like to work with you to help this event. He said to me point blank, if we need more equipment, we'll buy it. We don't need your help. Okay? I explained to Steve, every time the concession stand's not open for one of these events, our fees go up between $10 and $15 per kid across the board. His response to me was, not my issue. I told Steve that in the past we were open for all the events, and I asked him what changed. Why was the soccer club being treated differently now than in the past? And he said, things have changed. That's all he would say, things have changed. And I kept pressing on him, and he said, I said, what changed, Steve? Give me an answer. What has changed? He said, you made allegations against some people. I asked who? And he stopped right there, wouldn't say another word. At that point, he said, our conversation's over. Okay? I go back in to talk to the folks in the concession stand that were there set up, Keith included. And a few minutes, Steve Moore walks up to the concession stand. Okay? So we talked to him face to face, to discuss this issue. We talked about it for quite a while and really got no answer whatsoever. So Keith suggested maybe we set up a meeting so we can talk about it some other time. We set up a meeting for the Tuesday after. Before that Tuesday got here, Steve canceled the meeting. Okay? We were supposed to reschedule a meeting, never got a reschedule. So that's why we're here tonight, okay? Our concession stand's being closed for all of our special events that are out there, and it's affecting the kids. All these kids, you know, you close them for 5, 6, 7 different things, we're talking $50 to $100 they got to go up in fees to meet the money or the revenue that was there. We can't afford it. Kids aren't going to be playing soccer. Kids are going to be out on the street doing other things. I mean, we're here to provide a program for the citizens of Deltona, and we have the Parks and Rec Department cutting our feet out from under us to make it as expensive as possible. I realize I'm over my time, so I'll pass. On to the next one. Thank you.
Sherry Green.
Hello, good evening. My name is Sherry Green. I am a soccer mom. I used to be a former employee of the Parks and Rec. When I started at Parks and Rec, it was when we started this program, Parks and Rec, we were pushed constantly that our parks were going to be for the children, that they can have a safe, fun environment to come to. Now that you're discussing this closing down or cutting the concession stand or whatever, we have many children here. Who are you going to answer to when one of the moms have to tell them you can't play soccer next year because they're taking your concession stand, which is causing our fees to go up because I don't have a job or my budget's cut or I'm a single mom? Would you like to answer that question to any of these ladies? Would you like to come out on Thursday and talk to a U8 boy that wants to play soccer so bad? Are you going to explain to him why he can't play next year? Why mom doesn't have enough money because the fees are going up? This really disgusted me when I found out this, because there are a few of you up there that know me, and you all made me understand how you wanted more for these children in the city, and that ain't what I'm hearing anymore. A lot of you have children of your own. Some of you run business for children. So why all of a sudden you want to yank the rug out of these girls? These girls love soccer, they love their coach, they love their club. And you want to take it away. And we're here to ask why. Mr. Mulder, you're shaking your head. And you're the one I want to ask. Why are you doing this to these girls?
You know what? I hope you stay around. It's a public forum, it's your time, but I have some things to say about it later.
That's fine, that's fine, sir. I want to end this with, I got on your website for Parks and Rec, and I read your little page there. And Mr. Moore states, create community and enhance quality of life in Deltona through the people, the programs, and the partnership. And yet what you did was just the opposite. Can you explain that one? Can you explain that this club offers an opportunity for parents that are on tight budgets? They can't pay the whole fee. They get to work it off there at this concession stand to cut the fees down so every child can play. As I said, I would love to see each and every one of you come out Thursday night when all the kids are out there, our little 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, up to our 18-year-olds, to our Hispanic, to our black, to our white, and explain to these children why next year probably half of them won't be playing soccer next year because they can't afford it. That's my question again. I'm going to end it with this, and I'm going to end it because of my daughter that plays for this. My daughter goes to bed, and she wants to know why, Mom, why can't I play next year, or what's going on? Because the concession stand keeps our fees down. You're the lowest group in this area. Deltona is the biggest as far as people that live in it. And yet you want to push them out somewhere else that they can't afford? They're going to be on the streets. And I saw that happen at Harris Saxon when I took that one. We were going to have a community center for these kids to hang out, and they said, "You ain't that." You know, it's disgusting. But I want to ask all of you to come out Thursday night, and I want you to talk to these kids right here on why they won't be playing soccer next year